Hey there, friends. Let's cut right to the chase. How many of you have felt the sting of being ignored, undervalued, or worse yet, completely taken for granted by someone you deeply cared about? Be honest. Maybe you found yourself in a cycle where you're always the one reaching out, giving too much, and hoping for scraps of attention in return. It's exhausting, isn't it? Here's the hard truth. The more you chase, the more they run. You're left wondering what went wrong, replaying conversations and second-guessing every move. It's like chasing a butterfly in a wide-open field. The harder you try to catch it, the further it drifts away. The frustration builds, the self-doubt creeps in, and you're left feeling powerless. Now imagine flipping the script. Imagine becoming the person they can't stop thinking about, the one they chase desperately. Picture the tables turning entirely, no more begging for attention, no more one-sided energy. You take control. This isn't just a dream, it's a process, and it begins here. Today I'm about to reveal 7 transformative secrets that will not only make them chase you, but also reshape the way you see yourself. These aren't quick tricks or shallow gimmicks. These are principles rooted in Stoicism, self-growth, and undeniable human psychology. By the time you finish reading, you'll understand why silence can roar louder than words, why boundaries breed respect, and how growth can become your greatest revenge. But let me warn you, this journey isn't for the faint of heart. It requires discipline, focus, and a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. If you're ready to take back your power, buckle up. The first secret is the cornerstone of it all, the reconstructed persona. Let's dive in. 1. The reconstructed persona. Who were you before you let this person define your worth? Think back. Were you someone who chased their goals with clarity? Someone who believed in their own value? Or have you always tied your sense of self to the approval of others? This is the question you must confront before you can take the first step toward reclaiming your power. Reconstructing your persona doesn't mean faking a new version of yourself. It means rediscovering who you are at your core and bringing that person to life. It's about shedding the layers of insecurity, doubt, and dependence that may have formed during this one-sided dynamic. This process is deeply Stoic, examining what is within your control and letting go of what isn't. Let's break this down. When you focus on personal growth, you aren't just moving forward, you're transforming. Think of it as rebuilding your foundation brick by brick until you stand taller than ever before. This isn't about revenge. It's about respect, self-respect. And when you respect yourself, others are compelled to do the same. Now imagine the power in that transformation. You walk into a room and there's an energy about you, a quiet confidence that can't be ignored. Maybe you've been working on your health, building new skills, or diving into a passion project. Every small step contributes to this reconstructed persona. It's not for them, it's for you. But here's the twist. They can't help but notice. Picture this. The person who once overlooked you now sees glimpses of your growth through mutual friends, social media, or chance encounters. They see a version of you they don't recognize, a version they dismissed too soon. This new you isn't chasing, you're thriving. And that shift in dynamic, it's magnetic. But let's address the elephant in the room. Is this manipulation? Absolutely not. Stoicism teaches us that true growth comes from within, not from external validation. This process is about reclaiming your energy and directing it toward becoming someone you're proud of. If they come back, it's a byproduct of your transformation, not the goal. Let me ask you, what's stopping you from becoming this version of yourself? Is it fear? Is it the comfort of old patterns? Take a moment to reflect on what you've been holding on to and ask yourself if it's worth sacrificing your growth for. The answer deep down is likely no. As you embark on this journey, remember that patience is key. Growth doesn't happen overnight, but every small step compounds into something extraordinary. And the best part, the person you're becoming doesn't just attract others, they inspire them. This reconstructed persona becomes a lighthouse, guiding others to see what's possible when you invest in yourself. Now say this affirmation with me. I am the best version of myself. Write it down. Feel the power in those words. Let them be the foundation for everything you're about to build. This is just the beginning. Stick with me, because the next secret will show you how to channel this transformation into undeniable success, the kind that speaks louder than any words ever could. 2. The dark achievement. What have you been putting on hold? What dreams, ambitions, or goals have you tucked away in the back of your mind, waiting for the right time or the perfect moment? Let me tell you something, it's not coming. The perfect time doesn't exist. What exists is now, and now is the moment you decide to take control of your life. The dark achievement is about more than just success. It's about turning your pain, frustration, and energy into fuel for something extraordinary. It's about showing, not telling the world, and yes, even the person who once dismissed you, that you are unstoppable. But here's the thing, this step isn't about revenge. It's about liberation. True Stoicism teaches us to seek growth for its own sake, not as a reaction to others. And that's exactly what you're about to do. Let me paint you a picture. You've started chasing your ambitions with laser focus. Maybe it's a career goal, like landing a promotion or starting that business you've always dreamed of. Maybe it's a personal milestone, finally getting in shape, mastering a skill, or traveling to places you've only seen in photos. Each step you take, no matter how small, is a declaration. I'm moving forward, and I don't need anyone to validate me. Now imagine them watching this transformation unfold. They hear about your achievements from mutual friends, or they catch a glimpse of your progress on social media. The version of you they thought they knew, it's gone. In its place is someone thriving, evolving, and living a life they never expected. Do you think that doesn't leave an impact? Trust me, it does. But here's where we dig deeper. This isn't just about the achievements themselves, it's about the mindset behind them. When you pour your energy into something meaningful, you're not just building success, you're building resilience. Every small victory strengthens your sense of self-worth, creating a foundation so solid that no rejection, ghosting, or dismissal can shake it. Think about it. Why did their indifference hurt you so much? It's because at some point you tied your value to their approval. The dark achievement untangles that knot. It redirects your focus away from them and back to where it belongs, on you. When your sense of purpose becomes rooted in personal growth, you're no longer dependent on anyone's validation. But let's not sugarcoat it. This step requires discipline. There will be days when it feels easier to scroll through their profile than to work on your goals. Days when self-doubt creeps in, whispering, "What's the point?" Those are the moments you must dig deep. Remember, every small step forward compounds into something extraordinary. The satisfaction of achieving your goals isn't just in the outcome, it's in proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. And here's the beauty of it. Your success will speak for itself. You don't need to post about it constantly or shout it from the rooftops. The whispers of your progress will reach them without you lifting a finger. And when they see it, whether it's a promotion, a glowing photo from a faraway destination, or a new skill you've mastered, it will hit them hard. Because they'll realize they underestimated you, and that regret. It's a powerful thing. But let's take a step back. What if they never see your success? What if they don't care? That's the point. The dark achievement isn't about their reaction, it's about your transformation. The real win is in becoming the kind of person who doesn't need their attention to feel fulfilled. When you reach that level of self-assurance, you've already won. So, let me ask you, what's your dark achievement? What's the goal you've been putting off? Start small if you have to, but start. Write it down. Make a plan. Take action today, even if it's just a single step forward. Remember, this isn't about showing off, it's about showing up for yourself. And here's a challenge for you. If this resonates, if you feel inspired to reclaim your power and start chasing your goals, like this video and comment number 1 below. Let's see how many of us are ready to take that first step toward greatness. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the rest of these transformative secrets. We're building a community here, one of strength, growth, and stoicism, and you're a vital part of it. Now say this affirmation with me. My success speaks louder than words. Write it down. Feel it. Let it fuel your journey, because this is just the beginning. The next secret will take your transformation to the next level, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. 3. The psychological mirror. Have you ever wondered why some people only seem to notice your absence when you finally moved on? Why is it that the same person who once ignored your efforts suddenly starts to care when you stop trying? The answer lies in the power of reflection, what I call the psychological mirror. This isn't just about silence, it's about letting them see the impact of their own actions through the distance you create. Imagine holding up a mirror, not a literal one, but a metaphorical reflection of their behavior. Every time they left your messages unread, you do the same. Every time they pulled away, you quietly match their energy. But here's the twist. This isn't passive or petty. It's deliberate and empowering. By reflecting their behavior, you're not playing games, you're reclaiming your time, energy, and peace. Think about the moments when they made you feel small, insignificant, or unsure of your worth. You probably replayed those memories, analyzing their every word and action, trying to find meaning. Now picture them on the receiving end of that same uncertainty. The psychological mirror forces them to experience the doubt, distance, and detachment they once made you feel. And the best part, you're not lifting a finger. You're simply living your life. But let's get one thing clear. This isn't about revenge. Stoicism reminds us to act with intention, not impulse. The psychological mirror is a practice in restraint and self-respect. Instead of reacting emotionally, you're choosing to respond with clarity and purpose. You're not chasing, explaining, or justifying. You're allowing your absence to speak for itself. Here's how it works. When you step back, they'll notice. At first, they might brush it off, thinking you're just upset or busy. But as time passes and your silence remains, the reality sets in. They'll start to wonder, why aren't you reaching out? Have you moved on? Are you seeing someone else? These questions won't just linger, they'll consume them. Humans are naturally curious, especially about things they once took for granted. Let me give you an example. Imagine you've been the one constantly checking in, asking how their day was and making plans. Suddenly you stop. You don't text, you don't call, and you certainly don't engage with their social media. Days turn into weeks, and they begin to notice the void you've left. They'll replay the moments when they ignored you, wondering if they pushed you too far. And that doubt, it's a powerful thing. Now, you might be asking, what if they don't notice? What if they never care? That's the beauty of the psychological mirror. It's not about them. It's about you. If they don't notice, it simply confirms that their role in your life was never as significant as you believed. And if they do, it's a reminder that your value is undeniable, even when you're not actively seeking their attention. But let's go deeper. The psychological mirror isn't just about silence, it's about transformation. While they're busy wondering what happened, you're busy becoming. Every moment you spend away from their orbit is a moment you invest in yourself. You're building confidence, pursuing goals, and creating a life that doesn't revolve around their approval. This isn't just reflection, it's elevation. Picture this. They hear through mutual friends that you've been thriving, attending events, exploring new hobbies, and exuding a quiet confidence they never noticed before. Maybe they see a photo of you smiling, genuinely happy, surrounded by people who uplift you. That reflection of their absence hits hard, but it's not just the silence that stings, it's the realization that you're thriving without them. Here's the psychological twist. People often don't value what's freely given. It's human nature to appreciate something more when it's scarce or out of reach. By stepping back and letting them experience your absence, you create a vacuum that forces them to confront what they've lost. They'll start to question their choices, wondering if they misjudged you. And in that questioning, they'll see the reflection of their own actions. But let's not confuse this with manipulation. The psychological mirror isn't about tricking someone into chasing you. It's about setting boundaries and allowing natural consequences to unfold. When you stop overextending yourself, you reclaim your time and energy. And that reclamation isn't just empowering, it's attractive. People are drawn to those who know their worth and aren't afraid to walk away. Let me ask you, what would your life look like if you redirected all the energy you've spent chasing them? Imagine pouring that effort into your passions, your friendships, your growth. How much lighter, freer, and more fulfilled would you feel? The psychological mirror is your chance to do just that. It's not about them, it's about you. Now, let's address the fear that often holds people back. What if they forget me? What if my silence pushes them further away? Here's the truth. If someone is willing to let you fade away without a second thought, they were never truly invested. And if they come back, it's because your absence revealed what words never could, your value. Either way, you win. You gain clarity, closure, and the opportunity to rebuild your life on your terms. As you practice the psychological mirror, remember to stay grounded. This isn't a quick fix or a magic trick. It's a process of self-discovery and empowerment. There will be moments of doubt where you're tempted to break the silence and reach out. Resist. Those moments are where growth happens. Every time you choose yourself over their validation, you strengthen your sense of worth. Think of the psychological mirror as a silent reminder of Stoicism, the ability to remain calm, composed, and focused on what truly matters. It's not about controlling others, it's about mastering yourself. When you can stand firm in your boundaries, you radiate a strength that's impossible to ignore. So where do you begin? Start small. The next time you feel the urge to over-explain, don't. When you catch yourself replaying their words, redirect your thoughts to something productive. And when they reach out, because they will, don't rush to respond. Let your actions reflect your growth. Let your silence hold the power they once took for granted. Here's what I want you to remember. The psychological mirror isn't about punishment, it's about perspective. It's about showing, not telling, the value of your presence. And whether they see it or not, you'll know the truth. You are worthy, you are resilient, and you are enough. Stick with me, because the next secret takes this concept even further. You've learned how to reflect their energy back at them. Now it's time to become an enigma they can't resist. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. 4. The inscrutable response. Let me ask you something. How often have you responded to someone with paragraphs of explanation, trying to make them understand your feelings or actions? How often have you poured your heart out, only to receive a lukewarm okay or no response at all? It's frustrating, isn't it? You feel invisible, like your words carry no weight. Now imagine flipping that dynamic completely, becoming the person whose responses linger in their mind, leaving them wondering, analyzing, and craving more. That's the power of the inscrutable response. Here's the truth. People value what they don't fully understand. Mystery has an irresistible pull. When someone can't predict your every move, they can't stop thinking about you. The inscrutable response is your tool for creating that intrigue, not through games, but through strategic restraint. Picture this. They send you a message, something casual like, "How have you been?" or "What's up?" Your old self might have rushed to respond with a detailed update, eagerly filling the void. Not this time. Instead, you take a breath. You respond simply and deliberately. "I've been busy with some exciting things, that's it." No over-explaining, no pouring your heart out. Just enough to spark curiosity. Now, let's break this down. Why does such a simple response carry so much weight? First, it's short. You're not over-investing in the conversation, which subtly signals that your attention is valuable and not easily given. Second, it's vague. By leaving out details, you create an open loop in their mind, a question they'll obsess over. What's keeping you busy? What exciting things are you working on? These unanswered questions will linger far longer than any detailed explanation ever could. Let me give you a real-world analogy. Think about the last time you watched a movie or read a book with a cliffhanger ending. How did it make you feel? That sense of unresolved curiosity stayed with you, didn't it? The inscrutable response works the same way. By leaving just enough unsaid, you ensure that you stay on their mind, even when the conversation is over. But this isn't just about responding vaguely, it's about creating a new rhythm in your interactions. When they reach out, you're calm, composed, and deliberate. You're not rushing to reply or filling the silence with nervous energy. You're setting the tone, and that tone says, "I am no longer at your beck and call." Let's be clear though, this isn't about playing hard to get. Stoicism teaches us the value of self-control and measured responses, and that's exactly what the Inscrutable Response embodies. It's not about withholding information to frustrate them. It's about choosing your words and actions carefully to maintain your sense of self-respect. Here's a scenario to consider. They message you with something more probing, like what's more important than me? Or why have you been so distant? Your instinct might be to explain yourself, to soothe their ego, or to bridge the gap. Resist that urge. Instead, respond with something like, just focusing on things that matter to me right now. Notice how this statement is neither rude nor overly revealing. It's calm, confident, and slightly elusive, just enough to keep them wondering. Now, you might be thinking, isn't this just manipulation? Won't they see through it? Not at all. The Inscrutable Response is rooted in authenticity. You're not lying or pretending. You're simply choosing to protect your energy and let your actions speak louder than words. If they genuinely care, they'll lean in, trying to understand the person you're becoming. And if they don't, well, that's clarity you deserve. But let's dig deeper. Why does this work so well? The answer lies in human psychology. People are wired to seek closure. When they don't have all the answers, their mind works overtime trying to fill in the gaps. By staying mysterious, you create a space where they have to do the emotional labor, something they likely never did before. And that effort? It changes the dynamic completely. Imagine them rereading your short, vague messages, analyzing every word, wondering what you're really thinking. That kind of curiosity is powerful because it shifts the focus back onto you. You're no longer the one chasing their attention. They're chasing yours. But here's the key: balance. The Inscrutable Response doesn't mean you're cold, distant, or unkind. It means you're selective. You're choosing when and how to engage based on what serves your peace and priorities. This isn't about ghosting or ignoring people. It's about creating a dynamic where your presence feels intentional, not obligatory. Now, let's talk about consistency. The Inscrutable Response works best when it aligns with the other changes you're making in your life. If you're working on your goals, embracing growth, and setting boundaries, this approach will feel natural and authentic. It's not just about what you say, it's about the energy you bring to every interaction. So where do you start? The next time they reach out, pause. Take a moment to think about what kind of response aligns with your growth and self-respect. If it doesn't serve you to over-explain or engage deeply, don't. Keep it short, keep it vague, and keep it calm. Over time, this shift in communication will speak volumes. But let me leave you with this thought. The Inscrutable Response isn't about being mysterious for the sake of it. It's about showing that you've moved into a space where your focus is on yourself, your goals, and your peace. And that kind of focus, it's magnetic. Now, if this secret resonates with you, like this video and comment number 1 below. Let's see how many of you are ready to reclaim your power and set a new tone in your relationships. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the rest of these life-changing secrets. Together, we're building a community rooted in growth, stoicism, and self-respect. Let's keep moving forward, one step at a time. Stay tuned for the next secret. It's going to completely change the way you see yourself. 5. The elusive social media presence. Have you ever noticed how the less you reveal, the more people want to know? Social media is often treated as a stage where we put every detail of our lives on display: what we ate, where we went, who we were with. But what if I told you that holding back, being just out of reach, could create an irresistible allure? That's the essence of the elusive social media presence. Imagine this. Instead of posting every detail, every thought, and every moment, you curate your presence carefully. Each post becomes a calculated move, a breadcrumb leading them to wonder, question, and analyze. You're not disappearing completely. You're becoming a mystery they can't quite solve. Why does this work? It taps into a deep psychological need: curiosity. When people don't have all the pieces, their minds race to fill in the gaps. They wonder what you're doing, who you're with, and why you're no longer sharing the way you used to. This subtle distance creates a magnetic pull, drawing them in without you having to say a word. But let's be clear, this isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about reclaiming your narrative and focusing your energy on the life you're building. Stoicism teaches us to prioritize what we can control, and that includes how we present ourselves to the world. By sharing less, you maintain control over your story and your energy. Here's how you can create an elusive social media presence. First, post less frequently. You don't need to update the world on every aspect of your life. Instead, focus on quality over quantity. A single photo of a stunning view, a hint of a new project, or a moment of genuine joy can speak louder than 100 mundane updates. You're giving just enough to show you're living fully, but not enough for anyone to feel they have the full picture. Second, avoid direct updates about your emotions or thoughts. Social media isn't the place for oversharing your heartbreak or frustration. Instead, let your actions and presence speak for themselves. Post about the things you're passionate about, your travels, your achievements, your hobbies. Let them see that your world is vibrant and complete, with or without their involvement. Third, embrace ambiguity. If you're posting about an event, don't tag everyone who's there or share every detail. A simple caption like "What a night," paired with a striking photo can leave them guessing. They'll wonder who you were with, what you were doing, and why they weren't part of it. But let's go deeper. The elusive social media presence isn't just about how often you post or what you share, it's about the energy you convey. When you're confident, focused, and genuinely living your life, it shows. Your posts become a reflection of your inner growth, not a plea for validation. And that energy? It's contagious. Think about it. Why do some people seem to glow in their photos? It's not just good lighting, it's the confidence and authenticity they bring to the table. When you're genuinely thriving, that energy shines through in everything you do, including your social media presence. But here's the challenge: it takes discipline. It's easy to fall into the trap of oversharing, especially when you're seeking connection or validation. You might feel tempted to post something to get their attention, to show them what they're missing. Resist that urge. The power of the elusive social media presence lies in its subtlety. Instead of seeking attention, focus on building a life worth sharing. Invest in your passions, your goals, and your happiness. When your posts come from a place of genuine fulfillment, they'll naturally draw attention, not just from the person you're thinking about, but from everyone around you. Now let's address a common fear. What if they don't notice? What if they don't care? That's where Stoicism comes in. Your social media presence isn't about them, it's about you. Whether they notice or not, you're creating a digital reflection of the life you're building, a life that doesn't revolve around their validation. If they notice, it's a bonus. If they don't, you're still winning because you're focused on your growth. Let's take it one step further. Imagine they're scrolling through their feed late at night and they come across your post. It's a photo of you at an incredible destination, smiling brighter than ever. There's no tag, no context, just you and the moment. They stop. They linger. They wonder. That pause, that moment of curiosity, is the power of the elusive social media presence. And here's the twist. Even if they don't reach out, they'll remember. They'll replay that post in their mind, trying to piece together the parts they can't see. And in that uncertainty, they'll feel the pull of your absence. But let's not forget the bigger picture. Social media is just one tool in your arsenal. The true power comes from the life you're living offline. Your achievements, your growth, your happiness. That's what makes your presence so compelling. Social media is simply a window into that world, a glimpse of the person you're becoming. So as you step into the elusive social media presence, remember this. It's not about being mysterious for the sake of it. It's about showing the world and yourself that your life is full, vibrant, and complete. You don't need to overshare to prove your worth. Your actions, your energy, and your growth will speak louder than any post ever could. As you reflect on this, think about how you want to curate your digital presence moving forward. What story are you telling? What energy are you bringing? And most importantly, how does your online presence align with the person you're becoming? Stick with me, because the next secret will take this idea of presence and energy to an entirely new level. You've learned how to create curiosity online. Now it's time to build an aura in real life that's even more powerful. 6. The unreachable aura. Have you ever met someone who seemed effortlessly magnetic, someone whose presence alone left an impression? It wasn't just their looks or words, it was the way they carried themselves, the sense of calm confidence that seemed just out of reach. That's what we're building here. The unreachable aura. It's not about being distant or cold. It's about creating a presence so captivating that it naturally draws people toward you. Let's start with a simple truth. People value what they can't easily have. When you're always available, always accommodating, it's easy for others to take you for granted. The unreachable aura changes that dynamic. It teaches you to become selective with your energy, your time, and your attention. And in doing so, you become someone whose presence feels rare, like a privilege, not a guarantee. But how do you cultivate this aura? It begins with boundaries. When you set clear boundaries, you're sending a message. I respect myself and I expect others to do the same. This isn't about shutting people out. It's about protecting your energy and creating space for the things that truly matter to you. And here's the key. When you respect yourself, others can't help but respect you too. Imagine this. Someone messages you, expecting an immediate response because that's what they're used to. But instead of replying right away, you take your time. Maybe you're busy with a project, spending time with friends, or simply enjoying your own company. When you do respond, your message is thoughtful but brief. You're no longer the person who drops everything at a moment's notice. You're the person who values their own time, and that shift is powerful. The unreachable aura isn't just about how you interact with others, it's about how you live your life. Think about the most confident, inspiring people you know. Are they constantly seeking approval or chasing after others? Of course not. They're focused on their goals, their passions, and their growth. And that focus is what makes them magnetic. This is where Stoicism comes into play. The philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. By embracing this mindset, you become unshakable. You're no longer swayed by others' opinions or actions because you're grounded in your own sense of purpose. That kind of inner strength radiates outward, creating an aura that's both calming and captivating. Now, let me ask you, how accessible are you right now? Do people assume they can reach you anytime, anywhere? Do you find yourself saying yes to things you don't want to do, just to keep the peace? If the answer is yes, it's time to make a change. The unreachable aura requires you to become intentional with your availability. It's not about playing hard to get, it's about reclaiming your time and energy for the things that truly matter. Here's a challenge. The next time someone asks for your time or attention, pause. Ask yourself, does this align with my priorities? If the answer is no, don't be afraid to say so. This doesn't make you selfish, it makes you strong. And when you're strong in your boundaries, you naturally command respect. But let's address a common fear. What if I push people away? What if they think I don't care? The reality is, the right people will respect your boundaries and the wrong ones will fall away. This isn't about isolating yourself, it's about creating space for relationships that are rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Imagine the impact this will have on the person who once dismissed you. They were used to your constant availability, your eagerness to accommodate their every whim. But now, you're different. You're no longer at their beck and call, and that change will make them see you in a completely new light. They'll realize that your attention is no longer guaranteed, and that realization will hit hard. But the unreachable aura isn't just about withholding your time or energy, it's about how you show up in the world. When you're focused on your goals, your growth, and your happiness, you naturally become someone who commands attention without demanding it. You walk into a room and people notice, not because you're loud or flashy, but because your energy speaks for itself. Let's take it a step further. Think about how you carry yourself. Your posture, your tone of voice, your eye contact, all of these things contribute to your aura. When you stand tall, speak with intention, and maintain a calm, composed demeanor, you exude confidence. And confidence, as we know, is irresistible. Here's another key: patience. The unreachable aura isn't something you can fake or rush. It's a result of consistently prioritizing your own growth and well-being. Over time, this becomes second nature. You're no longer pretending to be busy or disinterested. You genuinely are invested in your own life. And that authenticity is what makes your aura so compelling. Now let's tie this back to the person you're thinking about. They'll notice the change in you. Maybe they won't say it outright, but they'll feel it. They'll sense that you've created a life that doesn't revolve around them, a life that's full, vibrant, and fulfilling. And that realization, it's magnetic. It draws them in not because you're chasing them, but because you're no longer chasing anything at all. But let me leave you with this. The unreachable aura isn't about being untouchable or aloof. It's about becoming someone who values their own time, energy, and growth. It's about creating a presence that feels rare and special, not just to others, but to yourself. So are you ready to step into this version of yourself? If this resonates with you, like this video and comment number 1 below. Let's see how many of you are ready to embrace this transformation. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the final secret, the one that ties everything together and takes your journey to the next level. Together, we're building a community of growth, strength, and stoicism. Stick with me, because the best is yet to come. 7. The final emotional barrier. There's a moment in every journey when you realize that the person you were no longer exists. You've grown, evolved, and built something new, something unshakable. That moment is the foundation of the final emotional barrier. This isn't just about setting boundaries, it's about creating a definitive line between who you are now and the person you used to be. This is the ultimate act of self-respect. Let's start with a question. How many times have you let someone back into your life because you wanted closure, validation, or a second chance? And how many times has that left you feeling disappointed, as though the same cycle was repeating itself? It's a painful pattern, but here's the truth. The door to the past only leads to more of the same. If you truly want to move forward, you must close that door for good. The final emotional barrier is your way of saying, I've moved on, and there's no going back. It's not about anger or resentment, it's about protecting your peace. When you reach this stage, you no longer feel the need to explain yourself, seek validation, or reopen old wounds. You've grown beyond the person they once knew, and that growth demands respect. Imagine this. They reach out, trying to reconnect. Maybe they're curious about the new version of you they've been hearing about. Maybe they want to apologize or rekindle what was lost. In the past, you might have welcomed that message with open arms, eager to mend what was broken. But now, you pause. You consider your growth, your journey, and the peace you've built. And instead of letting them back in, you set the boundary firmly and calmly, not with bitterness, but with clarity. Here's what happens when you create this barrier. They feel the weight of your absence. It's not just about missing your presence, it's about realizing that they no longer have access to your heart, your thoughts, or your emotions. That realization is powerful because it's final. They may try to test the boundary, sending more messages or asking mutual friends about you. But with each unanswered attempt, the barrier becomes more real. Now, you might be asking, doesn't this make me cold or unkind? Not at all. Stoicism teaches us the importance of protecting our inner peace and staying true to our values. The final emotional barrier isn't about shutting people out. It's about deciding who gets the privilege of knowing the real you. And let's be honest, not everyone deserves that access. Here's the key. This barrier isn't just for them, it's for you. It's a reminder that your worth isn't tied to their validation. It's a declaration that says, I've grown beyond what we were, and I'm not willing to compromise who I've become. When you honor this boundary, you reinforce your own sense of self-respect, and that respect becomes a cornerstone of your confidence. Let's go deeper. Why does this barrier work so effectively? It creates a sense of finality that forces them to confront their own actions. When there's no opportunity for reconciliation, they're left to sit with the consequences of their choices. They realize that their dismissal, indifference, or lack of effort has cost them something valuable. And that realization, it lingers. But let's not overlook the emotional strength this requires. Building the final emotional barrier means letting go of the hope that they'll change, apologize, or finally see your worth. It's about accepting that closure doesn't come from them, it comes from within. This is where Stoicism shines. By focusing on what's within your control, you free yourself from the emotional chains of the past. Picture this: you're living your life fully, pursuing your goals, and surrounding yourself with people who value you. You've created a world that feels peaceful, fulfilling, and entirely your own. And when they look at you, they see someone they can no longer reach. That distance, that inaccessibility, is what makes the final emotional barrier so impactful. But let me ask you, are you ready to let go? Truly let go. This isn't about pretending you've moved on while secretly hoping they'll come back. It's about embracing the life you've built and recognizing that their chapter in your story has ended. It's about trusting that the next chapter will be even better because you're the one writing it. Here's the beauty of this barrier. It doesn't require confrontation or explanation. You don't need to justify your decision or engage in endless conversations. Your actions speak for themselves. When they see that you've moved on, really moved on, they'll understand that they've lost their place in your life. And that understanding is more powerful than any words you could say. But let's be honest, this isn't easy. There will be moments when you're tempted to look back, to answer their message, or to revisit old memories. In those moments, remind yourself of the peace you've gained by moving forward. Ask yourself, is reopening this door worth losing the progress I've made? The answer deep down is no. The final emotional barrier is your promise to yourself. A promise to honor your growth, protect your peace, and prioritize your happiness. It's not about punishing them, it's about valuing yourself. And when you value yourself, the world begins to reflect that value back to you. As we close this chapter, let me leave you with this thought. The person you were is gone. The person you've become is stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Embrace that transformation and let it guide you forward. Because the life you're building is worth protecting, and the peace you found is worth keeping. You've reached the end of this journey, but in many ways it's just the beginning. From here, the power is entirely yours. You've made it. You've walked through every step, from rebuilding yourself into a version you're proud of, to mastering the art of mystery, to finally setting the boundaries that protect your peace. Let's take a moment to reflect on what this journey truly means. At its core, this transformation isn't about them, it's about you. It's about stepping into your power, embracing Stoicism, and living a life where your value isn't determined by someone else's opinion or attention. Each step has brought you closer to becoming the person you've always been capable of being, confident, focused, and unapologetically yourself. But let me ask you, how does it feel? How does it feel to know that you've reclaimed your energy, redirected it into growth, and created a foundation that no one can shake? That feeling, that's yours. No one can take it away from you. This journey wasn't easy. It required discipline, reflection, and the courage to let go of what no longer served you. But as you stand here now, at the end of these 7 steps, you've proven something important. You are capable of more than you ever thought possible. You've risen above the noise, the doubts, and the distractions, and you've created something extraordinary, a life that's entirely your own. So what's next? Where do you go from here? The answer is simple: forward. This isn't the end of your journey, it's the beginning of a new chapter. One where you prioritize your growth, your happiness, and your peace above all else. One where you continue to build a life so vibrant, so fulfilling, that it naturally attracts people who value and respect you. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that true power lies in mastering ourselves, not others. The secrets you've learned here aren't about manipulating anyone, they're about reclaiming your energy and focusing it on what truly matters: your own transformation. And as you carry these lessons forward, you'll find that the right people will be drawn to your light, not because you chase them, but because you've become someone they can't ignore. As we close, I want to leave you with one final affirmation. I am unbreakable. Say it aloud. Write it down. Let it anchor you in moments of doubt and remind you of the strength you've cultivated. This is your declaration of independence, your promise to yourself that you will never settle for less than you deserve. And now, I want to hear from you. Share your journey in the comments below. Let us know which step resonated with you the most or how you've started to implement these changes in your life. This isn't just a video, it's a community of people committed to growth, strength, and stoicism. If you found value in this journey, don't forget to subscribe so you can continue exploring more powerful tools for self-growth and transformation. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Together, we're building a movement of empowered, confident individuals who refuse to settle for anything less than their best selves. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Here's to your transformation and the incredible chapters that lie ahead. You've got this.